I still remember the way she used to smile when she looked at me. It wasn't just a smile, it was home. Her eyes would light up like she saw the whole world in me. Now, she barely looks at me at all. It started subtly. One evening, I came home from work and found her sitting on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, staring blankly at the wall. No music. No TV. No expression. I kissed her on the forehead. "Hey, baby! Everything all right?" She nodded slowly. "Yeah, just tired." I wanted to believe that. I wanted to believe she was just tired. But the next day was the same. And the next, the way she hugged me started to change. It used to be tight, warm, with fingers clutching my back like she never wanted to let go. Now, it was just a brief touch, like checking a box. One night, I asked her directly, "Are you okay? Really?" She hesitated. Then she looked at me and whispered something that shattered me more than any scream ever could. "I don't feel anything anymore." I laughed nervously. "What do you mean?" She shrugged. "I mean, I don't know. I don't feel happy, or sad, or angry. I just exist." My heart sank. This was the woman I dreamed of marrying. We had plans. A trip to Greece, moving to a bigger place, maybe even getting a dog. And now she was numb? That night I couldn't sleep. I watched her as she lay beside me, eyes open, staring at the ceiling. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to fix something I couldn't see. The next morning, I made her coffee, like always. Her favorite, 2 sugars, a little milk, and that tiny cinnamon sprinkle on top. She smiled faintly. "Thanks." That smile, it was polite. Like thanking a stranger who holds the door open. I started reading about depression, burnout, emotional detachment, anything. I thought maybe I could solve her. Like she was a puzzle I just needed to figure out. But she wasn't a puzzle. She was a person, drowning silently. I started doing little things. Leaving her notes on the bathroom mirror. "You're not alone. I love you. Every version of you." I made her breakfast in bed. Played her favorite songs from when we first met. I even planned a weekend getaway to the lake house we once stayed at. She came with me, but it wasn't the same. She barely spoke. We sat by the water in silence for hours. And when I reached for her hand, she didn't pull away, but she didn't hold it either. That night, I cried in the bathroom. I turned the faucet on so she wouldn't hear. But I think she knew. I called her mom. "Has she been like this before?" I asked. Her mom sighed. "When she was little, after her dad left, she went quiet for almost a year. Didn't cry. Didn't smile. Just shut down." That hit me like a truck. She'd been through this darkness before, and I never knew. I sat next to her on the couch later that night. "I talked to your mom," I said softly. "She's worried about you." She didn't answer. "I am too," I added. Still silence. "I miss you," I whispered. Then, for the first time in weeks, she spoke with emotion. Not much, but it cracked through. "I'm scared," she said. I moved closer. "Of what?" "Of being broken," she replied. "Of not being fixable." My throat tightened. "You're not broken," I said. "You're human. You're hurting. And I'm here." She leaned her head on my shoulder. We stayed like that for hours. And I thought, maybe we were turning a corner. Maybe she was coming back to me. But 2 days later, she was gone. No note. No message. No packed bags. Just gone. I checked her phone location, off. I called everyone, her mom, her sister, her coworkers. No one knew. And that night, as I sat alone in our apartment, surrounded by photos of us laughing, dancing, kissing, I realized something. You can love someone with all your heart. You can give them everything. But sometimes, it's not enough. Sometimes, they need to find themselves alone. 3 days. That's how long she was gone. 3 days of checking my phone every 2 minutes. 3 days of no sleep, no food, just waiting. Then, late in the evening on the 3rd day, the door opened. She stepped in. No suitcase. No dramatic entrance. Just her, standing in the doorway, eyes red, hair messy, jacket damp from the rain. My heart dropped. I stood up slowly. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask 100 questions. But all I said was, "Are you okay?" She nodded, then shook her head. "I don't know," she whispered. I walked toward her. She didn't move. I reached out carefully, like approaching a wounded animal, and wrapped my arms around her. She melted into me, crying. Her body trembled. We didn't say anything for a long time. We just stood there, holding each other like we were afraid the other might disappear again. Eventually, I asked the question that had been burning in my mind. "Why did you leave?" She looked up at me, eyes glassy. "I needed to know if I felt anything when I was gone. If I missed you. If I missed me." I swallowed hard. "And did you?" She paused. "Yes, I did." We sat on the floor, backs against the couch. She started talking. Really talking. "I've been numb for a long time," she said. "Long before I met you. I just got good at hiding it." I listened, heart pounding. "I thought love would fix it. I thought you would fix it. And for a while, you did. But then," she continued, "the numbness came back. And I didn't tell you because I was ashamed." I took her hand. "You don't have to be ashamed of what you feel," I said. She looked at me. "But that's the thing. I didn't feel anything. Not for the longest time. Not even for you." That broke me. I didn't let it show. But inside, I shattered. I nodded slowly. "I understand," I whispered. "No," she said. "You don't." And then came the truth, the one I didn't expect. "I met someone, months ago," she said quietly. "It wasn't physical. I swear. But I talked to him. When I couldn't talk to you." My chest caved in. I didn't scream. I didn't accuse. I just went silent. She continued, voice trembling. "I didn't cheat. But I wanted to feel something. And when I talked to him, I did. Even if just for a moment." Tears rolled down her face. "I'm so sorry." I didn't know what to say. Because what do you say when the person you love admits they were emotionally gone long before they physically left? After she told me about the other guy, everything inside me just collapsed. Not because she kissed him. She didn't. But because she went to him, not me, when she was falling apart. That hurt more than any betrayal I could have imagined. We sat in silence. She kept crying. I kept breathing, just to remind myself that I was still alive. Finally, I stood up. "I need some air," I said. I stepped outside. The night was cold, and the wind felt like it was cutting through my skin, or maybe that was just the way my chest ached. I sat on the front steps, staring into nothing. All I could think was, why wasn't I enough? A few minutes later, she came out. Sat beside me. She didn't say anything. Just handed me a small folded piece of paper. I opened it. It was a list. A list of everything she loved about me. "How you always remember how I take my coffee. How you never raise your voice, even when you're angry. How your hugs make me feel safe. How you believe in me, even when I don't." There were over 20 things written. She whispered, "I wrote that a week ago. I wanted to remind myself why I fell in love with you." My eyes burned. I didn't want to cry, not in front of her. But I did. "I don't know if I can forgive this," I said. She nodded. I understand. But I don't want to lose you either, I added. Because even now, I still love you. She looked at me, eyes full of guilt and hope all at once. I want to fix this, she said. I want to go to therapy. I want to talk more. I want to be better. Not just for you, for me. I believed her. Because for the first time in weeks, her voice had life in it. Her hands were shaking. Her heart was exposed. That night, we didn't sleep much. We lay in bed, holding each other. No promises. No guarantees. Just presence. The next day, she booked her first therapy session. I started writing again, something I hadn't done in years. She left her phone in the living room more often. I cooked. She danced barefoot in the kitchen again, just once, but it was something. Little by little, things began to shift. Not perfectly. Not quickly. But truthfully. And maybe that's all love really is, not the fairy tale. But the fight. The staying. The choosing each other, even when it hurts. We didn't go back to normal. Because normal wasn't real. What we had before, all smiles and silly selfies, was beautiful. But it was also a surface we were too afraid to look under. Now, there was no surface. Everything was raw. We talked more. Not just about our days, but about our fears. Our traumas. Our pasts. She told me things I never knew. About her childhood. About the way silence always felt safer than truth. I told her about my fears. How I constantly worried she'd wake up one day and realize I wasn't enough. We started going to couples therapy. And slowly, something changed. One morning, she woke up before me. I felt her watching me. When I opened my eyes, she smiled, and for the first time in almost a year, it wasn't forced. Thank you for not giving up on me, she whispered. I smiled back. You didn't give up on you. That's what mattered. We were healing. Together, but also individually. She learned to feel again. To sit with discomfort instead of running from it. To cry without shame. To laugh without guilt. I learned patience. And that love isn't about fixing someone. It's about walking with them through the fire, not carrying them out. There were still hard days. There were triggers. There were moments when I doubted, moments when she froze up again, when the old numbness returned. But now she talked to me. And I listened. Really listened. One evening, almost a year after that night she left, we sat on the balcony, watching the sun disappear behind the buildings. She reached into her pocket, pulled out something small, and placed it in my hand. It was a ring. Not an engagement ring, just a simple silver band. I saw it in a shop last week, she said. It reminded me of you. Solid. Quiet. Strong. I smiled. She continued. I know I hurt you. But I also know you never stopped loving me. And if you're still willing, I'd like to keep choosing you. Every day. Even when it's hard. I slipped the ring on my finger. No speeches. No big proposal. Just us. Two people, battered, scarred, still a little broken. But finally real.